have at least 2 roots. Everybody else has 1 root. The stuff that you can see above the gum layer is called the crown. Below the gum layer, it's called the root. There's a slight part that's partially exposed, and that's called the neck. Crown, neck, root. On the crown, the white coloring is called enamel. On the root, the lighter color or tanner color is called the
dentin?
I got that thing going, so I'm distracted. It's called the cementum. So enamel, cementum. If you look inside, then all of this that looks striated, that is called dentin. So the outer layer is enamel on the crown. The outer layer of the root is called cementum, and inside you have the dentin, or dentin. The red pinkish material is the pulp, and then if the pulp is missing and it's hollowed out, that's just called the pulp cavity. If you've got, I won't be able to pull this out. If you've got more than 1 root, sometimes they'll call that cavity the root canal. So if you're getting a root canal, they have to go through the crown into the pulp, and then they cap off the pulp on the top so that there's no pain, or at least reduced pain. These teeth will fall out, so you have to be careful. Yeah. And when we're looking at the teeth, we notice that they are a little peg in a socket joint, and they're held in place by those periodontal ligaments. And a peg in a socket joint is also called a omphosis. I can take any of these teeth, lay them out on the table, and you have to identify which one they are. That's a canine, good. I can open up one of these models and have you identify enamel, dentin, cementum, pulp cavity, anything that's there on your little list. So please make sure you look at the models of the teeth. Remember when we did the entire duct system for the bile duct and the pancreatic ducts? These little models show all that duct system. So you got the right and the left hepatic duct, then they come together to become the common hepatic duct here, then the common hepatic duct meets up with the cystic duct from the gallbladder. That becomes the bile duct. The bile duct extends down, meets up with the main pancreatic duct, forms an enlarged area called the hepatopancreatic ampulla, empties into the duodenum through the hepatopancreatic sphincter, or the sphincter of Oddi. So you're going to want to trace these because we have several of them. So you're going to want to trace them and be able to identify the ducts, because it's really easy for me to put a sticker on them and ask you to identify what the ducts are. From the pancreas, we have the main pancreatic duct that meets up with the hepatopancreatic ampulla. And we also have this little duct that comes off the side called the accessory duct. Please make sure you look at these. Very similar scenario with this model. Please be careful with it because somebody knocked the spleen off. But it has the similar duct system. I like this one because it emphasizes how the bile duct passes through the pancreas. Because it passes through the pancreas, if you have gallstones or bile stones, they can get stuck in there and cause inflammation of the entire pancreas. And that's called pancreatitis.
Does it ever diffuse any bile into the pancreas?
If the duct gets ruptured, then bile can enter the pancreas.
But it's not, it doesn't ideally.
No. No. In a normal scenario, the bile ducts are intact and the bile does not enter the pancreas, it enters into the duodenum.
It just seems really weird that it passes through it.
It does.